Tonight, the Catholic Church begins a new chapter with its first American Pope. After a cardinal is asked, do you accept your election as Supreme Pontiff? The next question is just as important. By what name do you wish to be called? Tonight, Pope Leo and the future direction of the Church. The answer may lie in his name. Here's Lindsay Davis.
Pope Leo says he hopes to lead a church that, as he put it, illuminates the dark nights of this world. But into what part of the dark night will this Pope choose to shine his light? Some say pay attention to his namesake, the late 19th century Pope Leo XIII.
He reigned from 1878 to 1903, 25 years, one of the longest papacies in history. He focused on the Industrial Revolution, the plight of the workers earning starvation wages, and he stood up for the workers of the world.
I think what Pope Leo signaled by taking that name is that he's focused on this idea that economic realities have to be of interest to the Church.
With wars raging in Ukraine, Gaza, and elsewhere, can Leo find a way to be the peace pope?
We heard Pope Leo talk about the need for peace as particularly acute in this moment. His first words as Pope were, "Peace be with you," echoing the words of the risen Christ during this Easter season.
I hope that he can bring the Church together. I know there were a lot of bishops and cardinals and priests and even Catholics that did not think very highly of Pope Francis. They thought he was too liberal, but I'm hoping now that Rob's Pope that he can bring all these sides together and smooth all that out.
On immigration and migration, I think we're going to see Pope Leo directly continue Pope Francis's legacy of saying care for migrants and those who suffer in the world right now.
Pope Leo said he would be a faithful administrator of the Church that should be judged by the holiness of his members and not the grandeur of her buildings. Remarks made in the Sistine Chapel under the Michelangelo masterpiece, God and Man reaching for each other. Now this new Pope will determine how his Church will reach out to the world.
Pope Leo XIV has a real worldview. He has a sensitivity and appreciation for all people. He's worked with all different races. He's worked with people on the margins. He's spent a lot of his life serving people, poor people in Peru.
The Pope, who once studied mathematics, must now calculate how his Church will meet its many challenges. 1,400,000,000 Catholics are watching.
So many challenges ahead for this new Pope, and Lindsay Davis is with us here tonight. And Lindsay, I know you've learned more about what the Pope will be doing on this first weekend of his papacy.
A busy schedule. He's getting right to it, David. Tomorrow, the Vatican says he's going to be meeting with cardinals. Then Sunday at noon, local time, he'll be here at St. Peter's Basilica, back on that balcony again, this time to Regina Coeli, which means Queen of the Heavens. It's a prayer that addresses the Blessed Virgin Mary. Then on Monday at 10 a.m., they say that he's going to have an audience of those of us in the media, David.
Lindsay Davis with us here at the Vatican tonight. Lindsay, thank you. When we come back here, the world reacting to the election of an American Pope. From Chicago, where he grew up, to Villanova, where he studied. The one question that seems to be on everyone's mind. So Deborah Roberts is here tonight. The debate back home, is he a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan? We'll settle that right here tonight. And then later here, my walk here through the streets of Rome. So many Americans approaching us, and really people from all over the world. And it was fascinating to hear what they're hoping for from this new American Pope. This special edition of 2020 continues in a moment. Titled Back in the U.S., The Pride of Chicago. He's also a graduate of Villanova outside Philadelphia. The bells there ringing in celebration of their new favorite Wildcat. So many have questions about this new Pope, and some of the questions will make you smile. So is he a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan? Here's my 2020 co-anchor, Deborah Roberts.
In St. Peter's Square, Americans in the crowd going wild over the revelation that the new Pope is one of their own.
I heard people talking, and I keep hearing like Chicago, Chicago, and I was like, oh my God, like, is he from Chicago?
From Rome to back home, Americans celebrating history, the first U.S.-born Pope. At Villanova University, Pope Leo's alma mater just outside Philadelphia, students taking final exams were jolted by a happy afternoon surprise.
The bells were ringing, everyone's kind of so in awe.
First American Pope from Villanova.
Right?
Wow.
Oh, never.
In Chicago, both of the city's baseball teams claiming Pope Leo as a fan.
Okay, where's the current day Pope? Is that him right here?
That's right.
So ABC's Alex Perez asking his brother to settle the issue.
I read that he's a Cubs fan.
That's not true.
That's not true. He's not a Cubs fan.
Not
What
true.
is he?
He's a Sox fan.
What?
In Chicago, we have our own way of celebrating and marking these kinds of occasions. A local t-shirt shop is already printing White Sox jerseys with the Pope's name across the back and the number 14. And our local sandwich chain, Portillo's, is already featuring the Leo, an Italian beef combo.
And back at Villanova,
It is unbelievable. That's all I can say.
they're wondering about a planned visit from their most famous alum. Do you think you're going to see him again?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. That would become a whole big deal if we were having a papal visit here. But it's sure exciting to think about.
Exciting indeed. So many Catholic Americans, especially those with Augustinian ties to Pope Leo, like the parishioners here at St. Nicholas of Tolentine in New York, are invigorated by this new connection to the Vatican, hopeful that baptisms, like the ones happening right here today, will lead to a stronger relationship with the Catholic Church. David?
So much pride there as they celebrate one of their own. Deborah Roberts here with us tonight. Deborah, thank you. Back here in St. Peter's Square, we took note. There were so many here from the U.S. who were overjoyed when he appeared on the balcony. But it wasn't just the Americans. People from all over the world telling us of their hope and optimism for this first American Pope, sharing their concern about the deep divisions they're seeing back in the U.S. and all over the world. Tonight, they hope his voice will be the one that unites. Here's James Longman.
The first American Pope is, of course, first and foremost, the world's Pope. And the excitement is international, perhaps especially among the cardinals in that conclave.
Are you excited to have the first American Pope?
Yes, good. So that you can
build a bridge.
Can have conversation, dialogue with Trump.
Can have a dialogue with Trump.
Yeah.
We don't have the best opinion of the Americans for a lot of reasons. So an American Pope being elected will sure be a nice and solid bridge.
I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah.
You know, in this new papacy, new fresh air in the church.
De ce nouveau pape, Leo XIV.
As the news travels the globe,
Und es ist ein sehr freudiger Moment für alle Christen und viele Menschen, die sich mitfreuen.
the world wonders, what will this new global leader be like?
So the Catholic Church has been a pro-immigrant, pro-rights of migrants and refugees, and when it runs into an administration like the current one in the United States, I do kind of expect some sparks to fly.
As that plays out, we found a sense of American optimism on the streets of Vatican City.
I have been hearing from every local that they are delighted that the Pope is from America. They said it's a new, fresh way of thinking.
And James Longman joins us now from right here in St. Peter's Square. And James, it really is fascinating. So many people from around the world follow closely American politics, the deep divisions back home. And they were actually hopeful that because he's American, he sees it, he's aware of it, and perhaps he's the one who can help navigate it back home in the U.S. and around the world to try to bring people together.
Yeah, that's right, David. Everyone I spoke to was acutely aware of the divisions in the United States. They felt perhaps an American Pope might be able to bring people together around the world. There's something else going on here, though, too. He's from the wealthiest country in the world, but he's lived among the poorest communities on Earth. And that means he understands something else. Inequality. David?
James Longman with us right here at the Vatican tonight. James, thank you. When we come back here, our walk through this ancient city will take you out onto the streets of Rome, along the river, the cafes, the steps of the churches here, and what the people told us about the first American Pope. It was fascinating, and you'll hear it in a moment. The streets of Rome, the beauty of this ancient city is everywhere, and as we made our way through the city, the people we met and what they told us, their hope for this American Pope. In the shadow of St. Peter's Basilica, the weight of the moment, the history made here, the first American Pope. Outside a cafe, we met Franciscan sisters from the U.S., Joanne Schatzline and Sue Ernster from Wisconsin.
I'm just curious what you make of the history of this moment.
It's incredible. I think we're still in shock. And I think we've been
for some way to explain how to go home and bring some hope to the people that are being left out of our system right now as an American. And we find that the election of the first American Pope is just unbelievable. And he's a good man.
There's been so much talk for so long that there would never be a pope from the United States. Do you think inside the conclave, in the chapel, they actually thought an American voice in this moment might be of value?
I think the Holy Spirit was definitely at work in this election.
And how so?
The Holy Spirit knows what is needed at this time to be most effective in the world.
This, of course, is the beautiful Tiber River that cuts right through ancient Rome. And really, everywhere you go in this city, the people who are here, who live here, and the people who are visiting Rome, they're all talking about this new American Pope. We met Linda DeSanti and David Holland from New Jersey. He talked from the balcony about building bridges and about unity.
Yeah.
Do you think the world needs that in this moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We definitely need that.
Yeah. Are you hopeful they'll be able to do that?
Yes. Yes, we are. We'd like to see that happen.
And there was Chiara and Michela, who both live here in Rome. Pope Francis, in many ways, was able to reach past the church to the far corners of the world. What is your hope for Pope Leo, given what you're seeing in the world right now?
I really do hope that he's going to bring up a voice about peace in general, no matter what politics side you support. It's just a matter of peace in the world.
He was on the balcony in the square, and he talked repeatedly about peace and building bridges. How important was that to you?
Oh, I think it's huge. It's huge. I mean, we hear a lot of words. We need facts. We need people to act.
And they tell me it's their hope that this first Pope from America will inspire people all over the world to do better, to be better, and to help one another. Their hope for the first Pope from the United States. In a moment here, the lasting images, what we witnessed right here in Rome, this moment in history.
With moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
We're going to leave you this evening with some of the lasting images from here at the Vatican. We thank you for being here with us for the conclave and the naming of the new Pope. I'm David Muir at the Vatican. From all of us here at ABC News, good night.